Holy shit.
Anyway, number 22, um, Satoshi chats. We're looking at 43,700.
Can you believe it?
Can I could because it's in front of my face, so I would kind of have to believe it. I honestly can't believe it though. I think it's amazing. I think it's so juicy. It's such a juicy price point. Can't help but just stack.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if like the people who are selling right now are just getting, little weak hands as the price dips more. But
Yeah, it's
uh,
funny because like in order for the price to go down, there would have to be selling involved,
uh,
and not just like your average, you know, uh, Richard who has like $40 invested in Bitcoin that sold it on Cash App. Like these are like major people that are selling like multiple Bitcoin, like Bitcoins at a time because they're selling it for some reason. And it's just interesting how the people with all that money in Bitcoin are selling. You would think that there would be the smart people with a lot of money, but like, is it like why? Who's selling? Like seriously,
but
who's selling? It doesn't make any sense.
I do wonder if the price volatility is more like a product of like exchange, like play, like the liquidity going up and down, and then like I don't know, I just don't see. I feel like Bitcoin has a certain amount of money in it right now. Like say it seems to be hovering between
It's like
500 and
800
800
billion.
billion. Yeah, between 500 and 800 billion for the last like 3 months. I feel like that's like how much money is in it, and the same people are buying and selling. I really don't think it's like people are
Right. It's
are
the same
selling.
people. There's no one new. Like that
Exactly.
does, that does that does make sense.
I don't think
Because
like there's
the
any
big
one
people
like
that
type
are
of sailor absorbing nor
right.
dumping, you know?
Yeah, now that I realize it, the big people that are selling it to go down are also the same people that are buying it when it shoots up. So really it's just like
Yeah. I mean,
it's
it's
just the
crazy. It's
traders. They
almost,
think they're all cool, but they're not.
yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I really wonder how much like all the options and shit have affected. But I'm not smart enough to even know that shit. So
I think it affects like the speed of which it goes down or up, but like at the end of the day, it's just bullshit. Like,
cascading liquidations,
yes, that sounds like a smart word.
like it's like
Just
when
look at this beautiful chart. Like, remember when it was like here and we're just like, we were like questioning.
that's
We're
a
like,
really zoomed out chart. I didn't realize how zoomed out that chart was until I like
it's logarithmic. So
I was like, oh,
yeah,
I was,
it's
but
logarithmic.
really shows you the journey right there.
It is such a journey. It's such a journey.
And then we're at the top and we're like, dude, stop, like 43K.
For real. We're like at like look at how insignificant this little space is right here, and then we're just like, oh no.
So yeah, dude, it's crazy how
Anyway,
I don't know, Bitcoin.
what do we got in store for today?
I don't know, we haven't even jumped into like our topics of the day. I guess we could go straight into the first one, which kind of has to do with the price, which is the whole Evergrande bullshit, which is
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, it is.
But basically, for everyone who's not well versed, anyone who's listening to this literally has to know because I don't understand. Like, there's only a few people who listen to this probably. And if you're even this far in, like, you
Yeah,
have
they've already clicked out, but keep going.
right, right. So Evergrande is like fucking this Chinese corporation, and it's massive, one of the biggest real estate companies in the world actually, and it's got a fuck ton of debt, and they can't even afford their interest payments, and they're missing them, and it's kind of a question in the air of whether or not they're going to get bailed out, which I
I
don't have
think
an
it's
opinion either way because I'm not educated enough on it, but
I think
I
it's
think
funny how like the richest like real estate company can like not be able to like are not able to like repay their debt just as of like the average like American citizen like just can't repay their debt. Like how is that possible? Like
It's just over borrowing. And like I
too much
remember
investing.
reading, yeah, I remember reading this article that I was editing for the magazine about like Islamic banking doesn't allow for like certain like for debt, basically for credit. And so like they just don't have that shit. Like they don't have companies that are like loaded up on like fucking major amounts of corporate debt. And it's like, why do we allow just random ass companies to be like, yo, let me load up on that shit and then like fucking dump it, you know?
Right, that is really interesting. But also at the same time, it's like kind of bad. I feel like if you're just completely restricting it, like there has to
Right.
be
I
a
guess,
nice
it's a bank. You can't just restrict banking.
right. Yeah, it's I think it's bullshit and like in a couple months we're gonna laugh and just be like, that was retarded. Like, why did we even like what I've been seeing a lot is I truly think that this is somewhat near the bottom. Like I think this little wick down here, this little tiny dick wick right
Expand
here.
a little bit so we can
What
see.
did it get to? It got to 39.6. I
Think it
I
won't go below 39.
I genuinely believe that like it's I think that's kind of the end of the story. Like that's really not it because um you know the news happened. Like the news already happened. So the market has decided already and the market clearly decided that it's not going any further as of right now. So I mean also a good indicator is like when you scroll on Twitter and like you see these like stupid shitcoiners and when the stupid shitcoiners say oh it's crashing, that's like a really good bullish sign, you know, because if the idiots are thinking that it's going to go down further, the idiots are usually the ones to get wrecked. So like that's my TA right there is that you just
Yeah,
gotta look you just gotta look at the shit corner.
right. You got to look at it with the Bitcoiners' point of view. I saw some bullshit on Twitter, and someone was like, "This is it. This is the end of Bitcoin," and I'm like, "What do
Oh,
you mean? Like, what the
this,
fuck?" Yeah,
this is probably out of all like the bad news ever, which really it doesn't like this news doesn't really affect Bitcoin in general. It's just like the markets in general. Like at the end of the day, it probably affects like traditional markets more. But like at the end of the day, this is like dust on Bitcoin's shoulder. Like it doesn't like this is not crazy news. Like there has been more wild news out there that has dumped it further. Like that this is nothing. Like this is
for real.
no big deal.
I agree. And when you're saying like fucking, this probably affects the traditional markets more than Bitcoin. I would say everything affects the traditional markets more than Bitcoin. I couldn't imagine
Right.
a single global event that would,
Bitcoin might experience like more volatility in the process, but like that's just Bitcoin. Like that's just how it is.
price. Yeah, the price would experience volatility, but like the integrity of our Satoshis would remain the same.
Right. The integrity of like the network and this and the whole system is like just the same as it was the day before. Like there's
Nothing that can change that.
very interesting.
Yep.
What we got here? Funny notes. Oh, yeah. So how's your stacking going? We're experiencing cheap stats right now.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I'm trying to stack, trying to. It isn't it difficult to. I don't know about you, but I find it difficult to like balance that feeling of, oh, it's down, I need to purchase, but also what if it goes down more? Like,
Right.
I know I hate trying to time the market because then you just become a trader. But when you're trying to, when you're trying to properly stack, you really don't want to miss out on a good wick down. Like
Right. Like
if I purchase at 44 and it hits 39, I'm fucking mad,
you see, like this is how I think about it is that this wick down to 39, like right here. I don't know if you, yeah, you're seeing my screen. Like, are we gonna record or show the screen and the whatever? So
Yes.
this wick down here, like, just I think before I go to the lower charts, like that fucking lasted a couple hours. I'm willing to bet, like that really, like no one could have captured that unless like you had an order in already. Like I really don't think that. Yeah, this is like it's even on the hour chart. Like it's a very short wick. Like so this is
My day trade.
under an hour. Like so you saying like, oh, I want to capture that wick down. Like no one captures it. The only people that capture it are the fucking whales and the big money. Like, and we're just plebs. So like we just don't capture those kinds of things. So I don't
Yeah.
know. A good solid DCA little setup it never hurts. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Although,
Whenever I just get paid in the fiat, I just do a specific amount towards BTC and then call it a week, call it 2 weeks, whatever.
yeah, get this. I read an article from the magazine and edited it and all that, and it said it had research to back this up. Roughly 75% of the time, it's better to dump all your money into Bitcoin at any given time than to DCA it.
Really?
Yep. Just because, so like basically like whenever you get money, just like dump it all in. Just because more often Bitcoin moves up than it moves down, or some mathematical expression of that, like the percentages of you dumping it and earning more money versus like not doing that and like DCAing was way better.
That is interesting. I've heard quite the opposite, but I guess I believe that. But
Yeah, I'll send you the link.
as some of these people probably listen to the Bitcoin Standard podcast with Saifedean, and in his ad read he says it's like a sponsor with like OK Coin or whatever, and he says like DCAing is the most profitable way to buy Bitcoin, except for amazing luck, perhaps. Like, but I guess that kind of uh, doesn't really follow the line with that statement, but I don't know. I believe it. Like, I believe it.
Joaquin Bookman, he wrote it.
Yeah, the Bible. So, what's up with this? You were going to talk about the Fed trillion
Hit the coin. Dude, Joe Weisenthal, he's hilarious. I don't know if anyone has been hearing. Oh my God, my fucking just dry out. Mint the coin is this idea that was kind of, I think it was not created, but tossed around in like 2008 when the big crash happened. But basically, the idea is the Federal Reserve could, or the U.S. Mint could create a $1 trillion platinum coin, $1 trillion platinum coin. And according to Joe Weisenthal here, I've got the little process. Give me one sec. But basically, the Fed is given a coin to hold on its balance sheet. The Treasury gets retired debt back, and if we go off of what the 2009 2008 quantitative easing response did to the economy, hopefully the effect on the real economy is marginal. That's the idea. But I don't know, $1 trillion coin, just the idea is fucking weird.
Right. I just looked up on my phone. Why would they make it out of platinum? Gold is more valuable per ounce. So why do you think they would choose?
It's symbolic. It's like platinum, the coolest
Right.
one.
But I feel like the United States has such a history with gold that they would just make it out of gold,
Well, actually, I think it's interesting. I saw in the thing that Joe Weisenthal posted, it's actually like a requirement that it's platinum because that's like what the law says, that the United States is allowed to print a platinum coin of any monetary value, but it can't be like a bronze coin.
Can't they just can't like when they were making that law, they could have easily just been like, Well, the law is we have to make it out of gold. Like it's just someone saying something, you know?
I don't
Like
know.
it's
I wonder why platinum.
probably because it's cheaper to make.
I wonder.
So,
I wonder if they planned to use that at some point.
right. Well, I will not be holding Fed coin on my balance sheet. That's for sure.
The $1 trillion Fed coin.
Yeah, I won't be holding that on my balance sheet.
Wow. Imagine walking down the street with your Fed coin though.
Get robbed for $1 trillion. Technically, if the Fed coin was given to me legally, would the Federal Reserve be forced to give me $1 trillion by me trading it in?
If you somehow manage to get it legally, yeah. I would think because it's legal tender. So they are required by law to honor legal tender, right?
Well, I mean,
Isn't that the point that like is our money convertible for like the treasury bonds or whatever that represents our debt, or is it just like not convertible at all?
I don't know, but I wouldn't convert it to bonds.
Well, I mean like the debt. Like, could you buy back the debt from the fucking whatever treasury that's holding it or whatever?
I guess that would be, wouldn't
this.
that just be buying a bond? Like, right?
Right. Yeah, I guess that's true. Fuck, man. Maybe I'm just not meant for this shit.
But
Not good
like,
at monetary
right,
shit.
like, yeah, that's interesting though. Like, if you were to, let's say we gave the Fed coin to China, like, what would they do? You know,
Yeah, what would China do with the coin? Would they try to turn in the coin to $1 trillion?
sell it for $800 for the platinum.
Yeah, for real. I don't know, man. That just the idea was what struck me the most. Just the idea that somewhere someone has the power to authorize the minting of $1 trillion coin.
Right. Yeah, that is definitely the highest, what's the word? The highest, like unit, what's denomination of the US currency for sure. Like that have like 100%, like that is the highest denomination, the Fed coin for $1 trillion. It went from $100 bill to the Fed coin, $1 trillion. That's quite the leap.
It's like it's almost like the same thing as like printing a few $1 trillion for the COVID pandemic. Like, it blows the mind how much money that is. That's
Why wouldn't they just print $1 trillion and put it in a bank?
so I think that's the point though, is that if they print the money, there's more money added to the system. If they buy back expired debt for the $1 trillion coin, which is the only way they can do that because raising the debt ceiling is printing money, I think, then by minting the coin, they're trading out the bad debt and it's equal value or some shit. The coin is equal value to the debt. So there's no like change in the actual fucking balance sheet or something. I don't know. Joe Weisenthal actually knows what the fuck he's talking about. I just liked the term mint the coin. I thought that was hilarious.
That is pretty funny.
But yeah, fucking, I don't know. Interesting days in BTC with all this. It's almost like the collapse of the monetary system is like happening in front of our eyes, and we're just witnessing the beginnings.
It is quite beautiful. It's like, yeah, I mean, this is truly the beginning. Obviously, I think that in terms of like nothing will be the same as like the 2010 Bitcoin, like get rich kind of thing. But at this point, it's just more like keep the wealth that you have, save your time, like store your time in Bitcoin. Like it's not even about like making money anymore. It's just a matter of just like, it's like neutralizing inflation pretty much.
Yeah, I was on a podcast with one of our writers yesterday. It's not released yet, but he was literally saying, he said this in 2017, everyone was buying Bitcoin to get rich. In 2021 and onwards, people are going to buy Bitcoin to avoid poverty.
Literally. I mean, it's sad, but it's what has to be done.
It has to be done.
If Bitcoin didn't, if it's funny how Bitcoin was made in 2008, because if it wasn't made in 2008, it'd be created right now.
It would be created right now.
It's almost better to if it was made right now than in 2008.
Well, but we wouldn't know about it for quite a while, I feel like. I don't know. Difficult to imagine that.
Let me see if I have any funny. I love a good Twitter hour. You like any solid? But I love like the posts I like on Twitter. They're always fire. Like I don't like some bullshit. I only like stuff that makes me laugh. The fuck is this? Oh, fuck BitBoy. That guy's a fuck. That guy sucks, man. That guy sucks.
I saw the video.
I felt this post. Shout out to fucking
I just interviewed him.
Yeah, it's funny. Look at the guy's face, bro. Cashing in early tonight, work a double shit. That's my face when I fucking gotta go mine some fiat. That is fucking.
That's my face when I gotta go mine some fiat.
Seriously. Yeah. What else do we got? You got any what else is there?
I don't know, dude. We can always cut this one here.
Yeah.
Fucking Satoshi Chats, episode 22.
Just cut it at the end. You know what I think we should do instead of doing the bounty is we should just post on the Twitter and say picking a random comment to give 1,000 sats to.
Oh, ooh,
it's like lowering the bounty, but it's like then it's like more. I mean, I still think we'd get like 2 comments, but like at least like people are more inclined because then they know. But like lowering the bounty, obviously, because then they know in the first place, you know.
Yeah, I'm with it. I think we should do that.
It's a little like it's a little like shit coiner to do that, but I don't know.
No, I don't think so. Just fucking make people watch. Thanks everyone for listening to episode 22 of Satoshi Chats. Probably one of the last episodes before we hit $10 million per Bitcoin, to be honest.
Seriously.
But enjoy the dips while they're here, because this dip is really a nice suspension in time of the Bitcoin price.
You won't appreciate the moment right now until it's surpassed and you would wish that you thought more. So do with that information accordingly.
Yeah, it's gonna look real good when it goes up. So fucking thanks for listening, everyone.
Just a little just some advanced TA. This is what it's gonna look like.
I like that. I like that trajectory.
Yeah.
That's science right there, everyone.
Maybe a little bit more.
A little bit higher, yeah.
Maybe this way too.
Backwards in time a little bit. You never know where we're gonna head with this thing.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening.
All right, folks. I'll see you later.